Speaker of the House Paul Ryan, R. Wisconsin, arrives for a meeting of the Republican conference as the House and Senate advance toward passing the sweeping $1.5 trillion GOP tax bill on party-line votes, at the Capitol on Monday. Photo, J. Scott Applewhite/AP. Washington. Cue the accountants and the IRS rule writers. The massive Republican tax package is nearly a done deal, soon to become law. After weeks of drafting, fierce lobbying, horse trading and cliffhangers from some holdout GOP senators, all that's left is the voting and President Donald Trump's signature. This week Republicans in the House and Senate will whisk through the sweeping $1.5 trillion GOP legislation on party-line votes. Trump signs it with what's likely to be an elaborate White House ceremony. The legislation permanently slashes the tax rate for corporations from 35% to 21% and reduces levies on the wealthiest Americans, while making more modest tax reductions for most others. The tax cuts for individuals are temporary, expiring in 2026. It doubles the standard deduction used by most Americans, to $24,000 for married couples, also ending in 8 years. The new law kicks in January. 1. It will bring the biggest overhaul of the U.S. tax code in 3 decades, reaching into every corner of American society and the economy. It will give Trump and the Republicans their first major legislative achievement and political insurance, as they see it, to hold on to their majorities in next year's elections. A look at how this unfolds and when taxpayers will be affected. When are they voting? Now that concerns of holdout Republican senators such as Marco Rubio of Florida and Susan Collins of Maine have been met, Senate approval of the package is buttoned up. The Republicans' razor-thin margin in the 52-48 Senate left them only 2 votes to spare, setting off frantic last-minute negotiations behind closed doors last week. Now, even with Sen. John McCain, R. Arizona, recuperating from cancer treatment in Arizona and unable to vote, the Republicans still can muster a simple majority of the 99 senators present. And in their back pocket, they've got Vice President Mike Pence ready to break a tie if needed. Still taking no chances, Republican leaders are using strategic maneuvers. They've set the vote in the House first, expected Tuesday afternoon, followed by technical termination of the joint House-Senate Conference Committee that blended the separate bills into a compromise package. That means when the Senate votes, likely Tuesday evening, Democrats will be unable to force a series of votes on a so-called motion to recommit the bill to the conference committee. The committee won't exist, so no delay. No Democrats are expected to vote for the legislation in the Senate. Huge White House celebration likely. After final passage, the legislation goes to an eagerly awaiting president. Trump made boosting economic growth with a shot of adrenaline to come from cutting corporate taxes a centerpiece of his presidential campaign. He predicted this weekend that with the tax overhaul, growth could jump from the current 3% to 4, 5, and maybe even 6% ultimately.